Gaius Cornelius Gallus was a Roman poet, orator and politician. Birthplace. The identity of Gallus's purported birthplace, Forum Lulii, is still uncertain, and it is based on the epithet Forwiliensis that Jerome gave to him. In Roman times, there were many places with this name, but a dispute about Gallus's birthplace between supporters of Fregus and of a generic term for Friuli is attested since the Renaissance. During the 20th century, Ronald Syme took in consideration Fregus and Cividale del Friuli, both once called Forum Lulii, and called the former the more likely. Jean-Paul Boucher recognized at least 5 candidates, and considered Forum Lulii Irensium the most suitable. It has been also suggested that Forwiliensis could refer not to Gallus's birthplace, but rather to the place where he performed a memorable act, namely the erection of the Vatican obelisk in the Forum Lulium of Alexandria, thus making some generic mentions of Gallia as the sole possible clue about his place of origin. Career. Born in a humble family, at an early age he moved to Rome, where he was taught by the same master as Virgil and Varius Rufus. Virgil, who was in great measure indebted to the influence of Gallus for the restoration of his estate, dedicated one of his eclogues to him. The erotic epathamata of Parthenius of Nicaea was also dedicated to Gallus. In political life, Gallus espoused the cause of Octavian, and as a reward for his services, was made Prefect of Egypt. In 29 BC, Cornelius Gallus led a campaign to subdue a revolt in Thebes. He erected a monument in Philae to glorify his accomplishments. Gallus's conduct brought him into disgrace with the emperor, and a new prefect was appointed. After his recall, Gallus put an end to his life. Gallus enjoyed a high reputation among his contemporaries as a man of intellect, and Ovid considered him the first of the elegiac poets of Rome. He wrote 4 books of elegies chiefly on his mistress Lycoris, in which he took for his model Euphorion of Chalce. He also translated some of this author's works into Latin. He is often thought of as a key figure in the establishment of the genre of Latin love elegy, and an inspiration for Propertius Tibullus and Ovid. Almost nothing by him has survived, until recently. 1 pentameter was all that had been handed down. Then, in 1978, a papyrus was found at Qasr Ibrim, in Egyptian Nubia, containing 9 lines by Gallus, arguably the oldest surviving MS of Latin poetry. The fragments of 4 poems attributed to him, first published by Aldus Manutius in 1590 and printed in Alexander Rees's Anthologia Latina, are generally regarded as a forgery, and Pomponius Gauricus's ascription to him of the elegiac verses of Maximianus is no longer accepted. The surviving poetry of Gallus. Scholars used to believe in the absence of any surviving poetry by Gallus, and on the basis of his high reputation among his contemporaries, that his poetical gifts were little short of those of Virgil. The classicist Frank Turney famously declared in 1922, "What would we not batter of all the sesquipedalian epics of empire for a few pages of Cornelius Gallus, 1,000 for each." The discoveries at Qasr Ibrim have now given us 9 lines of Gallus. Coincidentally, one of them mentions Lycoris, confirming their authorship. 4 lines which probably once stood at the beginning of a poem pay homage to Julius Caesar shortly before his assassination, on the eve of his projected campaign against the Parthians. Fata mihi, Caesar, tum erant mea dulcia, quam tu, Maxima Romani parseris historiae, postgatum reditum multorum templa diorum, fixa legum spolius dia video ratuish. I will count myself blessed by fortune, Caesar, when you become the greatest part of Roman history, and when after your return, I admire the temples of many gods adorned and enriched with your spoils. This obsequious compliment need not be taken seriously. Later Augustan poets tended to distance themselves from the world of high politics, and often drew a humorous contrast between the martial ambition of the ruler and their own ignoble love affairs. The next missing stanza may have subverted the sense, e.g., as it is, while you're off winning renown by conquering Parthia, I'm stuck here in Rome, with nothing to do but make love to Lycoris. A second, incomplete, block of 4 lines appears to be addressed to Lycoris. So long as she likes his verses, Gallus seems to be saying, he can ignore any peer reviews they might attract from critics such as Publius Valerius Cato and Viscus. Tandem ficerant carmina musae, quae possum domina diacia digna mea, a turidum tibi, non egard viso. Cato, iudest ava reor. At last the Muses have made songs which I can utter worthy of my mistress. So long as, to you, I am not afraid to be judged by you, Viscus, nor by you, Cato.